Adam Kinzinger.
But you guys won. You guys held.
Former military congressman. Remember when he made a complete ass out of himself during the whole January 6th thing, going all mangina, soy, and crying?
If you're gonna walk around acting like a puss.
Well, now he blames Charlie Kirk on trans lynchings.
What the fuck?
Turns out, it's all bullshit.
I'm shocked.
I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this
I'm Eloise. I am 6. I'm a city child. I live at the Plaza Hotel.
is what's next. Good Tuesday, everyone. Jasper Gonzo here. What's up? How you guys doing today? Wow. Adam Kinzinger. Little Adam Kinzinger. Remember Mr. Military, Mr. Tough, Mr. I'm going to be on that J6 committee and I'm going to teach them what it's like to be fair, what it's like to be partisan. Well, as we all saw, is that just prior to the hearing, he had a coming out of sorts. He had a transition. Dude went all mangina, soy latte drinking, and then he cried and bawled like a little baby on the world stage. Now, of course, the Dems were loving it. They were like, yes, he's one of us. But the rest of us were looking at him like, what a fucking clown. He embarrassed himself. And dude, you were in the military, dude. Really? Wow. Time has passed since then. And of course, it doesn't matter because his crying will live on forever. As we've seen with so many people rip into this guy, especially one Tucker Carlson. But now, this is something new. Adam Kinzinger accused Charlie Kirk, yes, TPUSA's founder, Charlie Kirk, of trans lynchings. What? Little Adam Kinzinger accusing somebody of doing something that's false? Well, turns out to be true. This comes out of the post-millennial. Rhino Adam Kinzinger busted for spreading hoax that Charlie Kirk called for trans lynchings. Yes, he called for Dylan's head on a platter. Trans activists lied about the remarks made by Charlie Kirk in an effort to smear him and disgrace former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger picked up the claim for his own. The assertion, however, was entirely false, and the newspaper that reprinted it, the Sacramento Bee, had to retract it, which is rarely done, as the New York Times. Kinzinger didn't care that it was false, and he likely didn't even watch the clip himself. Instead, he simply repeated the allegations of a trans activist who had repeatedly called for violence against non-believers and obfuscates legislation that protects the rights of women and children as anti-trans. Libby Emmons of the Post-Millennial profile Aaron Reed, the man who identifies as the woman who caused the mayhem at the UC Davis, claiming Charlie Kirk called for lynching of trans people.
Aaron Reed, a man who thinks he's a woman. This hoaxer said that Charlie Kirk Charlie Kirk believes that trans people should be lynched. That is not just untrue. It is the opposite of the truth. It is against my beliefs and against my values. I never said it nor insinuated it. That then turned into the Sacramento Bee and then the UC Chancellor, Gary May. Libby is with us now. Libby, what have you learned about this individual?
Yeah, so this person is Aaron Reed, a trans activist, a male who poses as a woman and goes on Twitter to talk all about various kinds of legislation that are
More likely a perverted pedo than boot.
US, and specifically dig into those bills, track them, and also decided that your comments when you were speaking with swimmer Riley Gaines were tantamount to calling for trans people to be lynched.
Now, this is the same Charlie Kirk that was speaking at UC Davis. Of course, this is where the genesis of all this was, when Antifa showed up and threw a party. Yeah, trashing the place, hitting cops and what have you, calling Charlie Kirk a transphobe and every other epitaph in the book. Here is Weak Boy. Charlie Kirk, Kinzinger wrote, parroting the intention of trans activists. I hope conservative realize there's nothing whatsoever conservative about this. Yes, soy boy himself. Clown. Of course, that's Charlie Kirk talking with Riley Gaines, who actually lost to a dude, Will Thomas, in college swimming, women's college swimming. Trans activist and trans-identified bio male Aaron Reed lied about the remarks made by Charlie Kirk, claiming Kirk had called for the lynching of trans. Reed admitted that the comments about his lynching were untrue and simply an interpretation. Oh, is that how we're labeling it now? Reed wrote about the backlash received over making false statements to what Kirk said, saying, and Charlie Kirk really hate that I called them out for Kirk's video, which can only be called reasonably be interpreted as a call for violence against trans people. But that's a call for violence against trans people. Yeah, I get it. Reed knows fully that Kirk didn't say what Reed said, and it's clear that the comments were interpretation to this. Kirk replied, "Can't wait for you to explain that in court." We'll see if that goes. Of course, militant activist Aaron Reed was behind the viral lie, called for lynchings. The lie that incited Antifa to carry out an attack at UC Davis. Unsurprisingly, Reed has a history of spreading hoaxes on Twitter, and of course, that was by Andy No. As a result of Reed's comments, Kirk's talk at the UC Davis last week was met with violence and vandalism, courtesy of Antifa, of course, trans activists who believe Reed's statements that Kirk had called for actual lynching of trans people. UC Davis Chancellor Gary May picked up the comments as well and urged students not to attend Kirk's talk, claiming that Kirk had advocated for violence, something Kirk had not done at any point whatsoever. Kirk's statement that men should stand up for women and keep entitled trans-identified males out of women's bathrooms were misrepresented by Reed, a trans-identified bio male who is one of those who feel entitled to women's spaces. If I'm a dude, let me drop my pants in front of women. Women's language and advocates for child sex changes, yes, i.e. child mutilation. In a tweet, Reed said Charlie Kirk, CEO of Turning Point, is openly calling for the lynching of trans individuals, saying that trans people should be dealt with like men, like in the 50s and 60s. He is the latest major conservative calling for violence against us. No, not you, even though you're an ass clown. That lie was repeated by the Sacramento Bee, who was forced to retract the claims. An earlier version of this column included a statement from Charlie Kirk, had called for lynching. It read, going on to discuss Kirk's interview with swimmer Riley Gaines about UC Penn's trans swimmer Will Thomas. Nudity, of course, yeah, that's what he did. He dropped his pants in the women's locker room, and Riley Gaines was there to eyewitness it, which resulted in female swimmers being exposed to Thomas's genitals. My thoughts. Another ass clown posing as a woman, a guy with severe mental illness who should be dealt with from a psychological point of view, is allowed to run around and post bullshit on social media and slam conservatives like Charlie Kirk, and there are others who have been slammed in the past, like Shapiro and Coulter and Steven Crowder, the guys at the Blaze, Tucker Carlson. You name the conservative pundit, they've been slammed at one point or another over the last few years in regards to hating trans. But this is the kind of shit that conservatives like you and me are going to have to deal with and have dealt with on a daily basis. The fact of the matter is that when you're putting out common sense of facts, no, I hear nothing, I see nothing, I speak nothing, and that's exactly what the left does. And they do it very well. All this, nah, I don't hear you, can only go so far. And the fact of the matter is that every time we slap them with common sense and facts, they cry, they clutch their pearls, their rectums clench, bitching and moaning like little That's what you have. And for Adam Kinzinger to sign off on this shows just how much of a pussy this man truly is. I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a thing. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.